So eating right is a crucial part of living a healthy lifestyle.
It certainly is, and a new study links unhealthy eating to nearly half of American heart deaths. Joining us now to talk about this is Dr. Mandira Mehra with SSM Health. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
So that study talks about foods that are considered to be good, foods that are considered to be bad, but it also touches on foods that we're not eating enough of, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so a lot of people, and I feel the same way, you know, I'm kind of the anti-Santa Claus. I'm always here saying, eat right, don't eat donuts, don't do this. But this study is a little bit interesting, just like you said. It's from the Journal of the American Medical Association. And so not only did they examine sort of the deadly foods, meaning what's really killing us when we have the heart attacks, the strokes, the diabetes. 50% of those deaths, at least, are contributed to foods like the bacon, foods like the processed meats, the sugary sodas, and the really high salt content in a lot of our food. And so if we're just able to eliminate, cut back on some of these things, we automatically are putting ourselves at less risk for heart attack, for stroke, for diabetes, for hypertension. And then the other part of the study showed what we're not getting enough of, and those kinds of things are those healthy omega fatty acids like the nuts, the fruits, the vegetables. And so what we really need to do, it's like that Mediterranean diet stated a couple of years ago. We need to cut back on the processed things and really increase these good fishes, nuts, veggies, fruits, things like that, whole grains.
And I've heard some great things about the Mediterranean diet.
Yes.
Speaking of the foods that you should eat more of, how often should you eat those foods?
So there are recommended daily guidelines, of course, for the nuts and the fruits and the veggies. And like we were just talking about during the break, it's not the traditional food pyramid we kind of grew up with. And so looking at these new recommendations is very important. There's another big meeting happening today. The FDA is meeting to see what is healthy. Is a kind bar healthy? Is the cereal healthy? Things like that. And that's so important for us as consumers. When we go to the market, we just want to see, is this healthy? Is this not healthy? You know, a good way to kind of know what's healthy is if you make the food yourself. And of course, that takes time, that takes preparation. But I try to encourage myself and my patients, of course, to prepare ahead of time. So if you can plan out your meals for the next week, if you can pre-cook things, that's always helpful, because when we're in a rush, we grab the unhealthy things. So even in the studio here, keeping some nuts under the desk, things that are healthy for you is always a good alternative.
And you were saying with this FDA labeling, you know, there can be healthy components to things,
right,
but that doesn't necessarily maybe qualify it as healthy overall.
Exactly. A lot of us, we're fans of things like V8 juice, and I'm just naming that as a juice. And it says that you get, you know, so many servings of your fruits and vegetables. But a big, opposing argument to that was it was very high in sodium content. And everyone says, well, why is sodium so bad? Why are we picking on salt? So many of us suffer from hypertension. Hypertension's bad for the heart, the brain, it stretches our blood vessels, and salt is going to increase that. So again, anything we can do to cut back on that salt intake. So even if you're buying those nuts, try to get the unsalted version.
Yeah, interesting conversations that will not be ending anytime soon.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Mehra. Always good to see you.
Nice to see you.